Here's the mess I left myself on Saturday, and I was a little bit too lazy on Sunday to come in and clean it up. So now I gotta clean it up. One of the things I'm gonna do after clearing a little bit of space on the bench, I'm gonna pull all the valves out of the head, take everything apart, take a look at them, take the exhaust manifolds off. It looks like it's going to be a little bit of joy, but we'll see how it goes. I guess one place we could start putting these parts is in the cleaning machine. Get these hung up if they're going to fit on here. Well, it's kind of where it's going to go. If I can get it to go a little bit further. There we go. That's what I want. Just like that, where it could spray right in there. I'll do the other one, get that thing loaded up, turn it on, and it'll do an okay job. I don't use a real aggressive cleaner in there because it needs to be safe for aluminum transmission cases and other aluminum parts. That's what all the background noise is, the heater running up there. Makes a lot of noise. Okay, so we're going to try to get these exhaust bolts out. Had somebody comment and he'd love to see these bolts come out. And I'm right there with them. I'd love to see these bolts come out. Probably ought to start with heat. If you were to heat around the manifold, it would cause the manifold to expand and the bolt would be even tighter. But if you heat the head of the bolt, then the bolt is going to expand, which means it's going to lengthen, which if the bolt lengthens, that means it gets longer. And if it gets longer, it should be loosening on the tension. Yeah, there we go. Just got to let the heat travel down the shank of the bolt. The time that doesn't work is when there's a lot of rust in the threads and it's resisting the rotation. That's when it wants to resist the rotation. That's when you want to heat the casting where the threads go into. Now these might have come out without the heat, but you know what? It only takes one broken bolt to really set back part of the day anyway. Turns about 5 seconds into maybe 2 hours. Just let the heat, once the head is no longer red, then you know the heat is traveling down the shank of the bolt. Of course, we're right behind the part of the manifold where you can't see. But we'll start on that one as we're doing this one here. Got two hands, I'm going to do two things. That one must have had some oil in it. See how it's, probably see how it's red and now it's cooling off, but it's also transferring the heat down inside. That one is going to be a little bit of a toughie, I think. Try to heat up here as well. Just give it a few blips. If it don't want to come loose pretty quick, then don't force it. It didn't turn, it stripped. Huh. Weird. Well, that's 9/16, a worn 9/16. That's where you put a 14. Come on. All right, so, well, maybe it won't go so easy, but I don't know. I have a lot more luck with heat than penetrating oil. Now I wonder if it's seized up in the, not on the threads, but in the shank where it goes through the manifold. Okay. Now, all right, when a 14 won't hold, then you go to 13. That's the next size down from that. But it's a big step. Not too often I have to do that like that, but here we are. Alright, this one is going to be a real bugger. That's some deep creep. All right, so I think I'm going to start the torch and then just give it a good, get it hot. And either I'm going to break it or it's going to break free. socket didn't stay on there. But you know what I'll do? I don't know if I'm a big believer in this. Turn on the exhaust fan. Now, who knows how much of this is really like soaking in there. I'll let that one soak while we work on these others. Try to lengthen the bolt a little bit by heating the head. And then getting the casting back there where the threads are. Let's see if we could do the same thing here. Didn't know if that was going to make it, but it made it. Now we got to figure out what we're going to do about that one. I don't know if I should turn the head up and kind of let that deep creep just kind of use gravity to try and pull it in there while I work on the other head. Give this one a try. It's 9/16. There we go. Well, that one didn't need any heat to come out. These ones with the blind hole, they're obviously less prone to corrosion getting in there. They're not open on the other side. This didn't zip right out, so I'm gonna heat the heads, give it a try. Yeah, that heat works because it didn't budge before. It doesn't hardly work to take it out. That's hanging on at the threads. Moving hard. Oh, that one broke. We got a broken one. I'm gonna get this one good and hot. See if that makes a difference. It might. Wow, that was a tough one. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, well, fixing one broken one, and I still got to get that one out. let these cool off. I guess I'll spray some deep creep. Maybe that'll help. Sprayed it right there to let it pool. I don't think it'll help much. Yeah, it was frozen on the I don't know if it was frozen on the threads or if it was because of the way the shank was in the manifold, but I have a feeling it was all hanging on by the threads. Well, the pool in that one disappeared. Maybe that'll make a difference. I need to turn that exhaust fan on again. Go for it. If we break it, we break it. Oh, got it. Wow. Probably wrecked the socket. One broken bolt. Not too upset with that. Better to have zero, but if we have to extract one broken bolt, it'll be one and done. I wonder if letting it soak with that deep creep helped at all. Alright, we'll let this one continue to marinate in that deep creep. And maybe that'll help make it easier. Yeah, these have two-piece retainers. And when I put this back together, I'm going to go with one piece. about these springs? They might be okay. If I'm going to stay with the same cam. I'll check these springs. See what kind of tension they have on them. One valve out of this side, wherever it went to. It's floating around here. I wonder if the guy before me put umbrella seals on it. Oh, here's that valve. Just plop it in there for the time being. Oh yeah, it's definitely got wear on the guide. Oh yeah, intake does too. Yeah, a lot of wear. No need to measure it because you can feel it. You can see that wear right there. Even the intakes have a little bit of wear. Not quite as much as the exhaust. The exhaust seats are kind of some of the exhaust seats are sunk in there. So, well, we'll get these valves out. And I'll mic the stems. If the stems are, you know, within reason, I'll polish them with some 1500 grit. And then we'll put a new, we'll grind the valves as well. So, okay, I'm going to pull this apart here. I have the machine loaded up pretty well here. Guess I'm going to run it with what's in it. Ah, another red tray organizer. Yeah, that's good. I don't know if it'll matter much, but we'll keep them organized for now. Gotta file this. There's a few burrs or something on there that are preventing it from pulling through. I don't know if this is something I should be cautious about. You know, if you know, is the top of the valve gonna pop off? I don't know. I was saying earlier today, you know, instead of transmissions, I may have been just as happy doing automotive engine machining. You know, I'm looking at this, I don't know if it'll show it in the camera here. There's some, like, almost like if you it must have had the rocker banging off of it, because it gets like the top of a chisel where it starts mushrooming. You can see some little cracks on the edge. It's sounding more and more like I ought to put a set of valves in it. I think they're all going to be that way. And from the other side, it kind of looked like it almost had guides put in it already. When you look, it's got a, you know, the circle right around there. It almost looks like a guide, but I don't think it is. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Either way, I'm gonna core drill them, put new guides. Well, here's the stuff. See, if we have more aggressive soap in there, it would probably get more of this paint off of here. I mean, it starts to get under there where the paint's already had a crack in it or something. But some stuff it cleans up pretty nice, and that could stand to be in there a little longer because it's still got some caked on dirt. But I'll put this in the parts washer here and just let the mineral spirits flow over it. That'll loosen it up, so then when I put it back in the washing machine, it'll get it all. A lot more cleaning to do. I scraped the intake gasket off, so the head will go in there next. Both heads, actually. Get those cleaned up, and then I'll need to Magnaflux them around the valve seats. Make sure we don't have any cracks. Okay, now we're going to try to get this one stud out of here. I have this stud remover tool, and we're going to put that in place. Wow, it would be nice when I have two hands. Alright, let me prop this back up here. That is it, put in position there. We're going to heat up that ear. Trying to direct the heat away from the stud extractor so it doesn't get overheated. Got it. Got them all. Turn off the tanks. We're done with the torch. Okay. I'm going to let that cool off. Take these valves out of here as well. heads are in the cleaning machine. Gonna run them for a while and then take a look at checking for cracks. Here's the Magnaflux tool, and this is the powder for it. I don't do this very often, but we're going to put some powder around the areas we think it is possible to crack. Let's move this over here a little bit. I don't see any cracks. They said turn it 90 degrees. Now it stands up. It would make a parting line if it had a crack. I think that's so far so good. I don't see anything obvious. We'll get the light over here. Yeah, nothing between the spark plug. I don't think there's anything between the spark plug hole, but dust that one again. No. Okay, I think that one's free of cracks. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with it next. It's going to go in the shot blast machine. Okay, here's how, I'm going to show you how this thing turns around in there. You can see it. I'll turn on the rotisserie here, which is like that. So it kind of slides, and then it comes over. It's not too harsh on it. But it moves it around so it can shoot the steel shot on all sides. Let's pull this thing out. Well, we'll bring it over to the bench. Whoa. Now you can compare the difference between one that went through the shot blast and one that didn't. It's a nice machine to have. I've been using it quite a bit when it comes to restoring stuff. Any of the brackets and castings and, you know, little, well, you got to be careful about little things like this little bracket here. That'll fall between the slots on that rotisserie cage there. But there's valve covers, you can do them just very quickly, like a minute at a time or so. They come out nice, but probably better off just go in the regular sandblaster, because anything sheet metal, this thing, if it pelts it too much in one area, it's just going to stretch it out and warp it, and it's a problem. So the one thing to be careful of with this machine is there's little bits of shot and stuff, so we want to make sure to get all of this stuff cleaned out. Don't want any of that in the new or in a rebuilt engine going together. Alright, we're going to shot blast this second head, and it's almost 11 o'clock, so I'll call it a night after that. Well, both heads have gone through the shot blast machine, and you can see where it cleaned up rust and stuff around here. So this surface is going to get resurfaced. Now we're going to run the face mill over it. Probably the same with the deck. Make sure that's nice and flat all the way across. We'll probably do the same thing with the block as well, like we did with the 445. Mount it on the big Van Norman over there, and face it off so it's got a good flat clean surface to for the gasket to stick to and actually work and be effective and reduce the possibility of leaks. Next step on these is core drilling out for all the valve guides. I'm going to do 16 valve guides, do them all, get them done, because they're all worn, and so that'll be not tonight because it's a little bit after 11 o'clock. So I think that's going to be it. There was a little bit of sediment in the pan, so I got the solvent just kind of flowing through it, and it's mostly gone now. Then this will go back in the washing machine. Well, I'm gonna call it a night, and thanks for hanging out, and I will see you soon, and we'll make some more progress.